Today I just wanted to speak a bit about the difference between meditation and transmission. Some of what I know about energy is in books where I've learned from teachers. And some of what I know about energy is from my own self and from working within the energy. When it comes to meditation, my personal belief is that through meditation, we become closer to ourselves. So we can feel grounded to the earth. We can connect to our higher self. We can connect to our soul, to our spirit. And through doing this in meditation, we can also connect outward to other energy, to other dimension, for information, for many different things. So meditation really becomes this grounded. I feel when I'm in meditation, the vision I always get is that I'm grounded downward. I'm grounded into the earth, or I'm grounded into my body, and then I am receiving from outside of my body, or just feeling more connected to my inner body, to my inner self. So this is how I see meditation. Now, transmission. I'm sure there are so many other definitions, so just know that I do not know all the definitions on transmission. I'm really speaking to how I am understanding it and incorporating it into my work. And part of this is because I do need to find a distinction between meditation and transmission, because in my work, in my body, and when I'm working with others, it does feel different, very subtly different, but there is a difference. So when I think of transmission, I think of receiving energy through like a tunnel or through energy wires into the nervous system. It's almost like if you think of the nervous system as these branches outward in through a transmission, they're all connected to other pathways. And through those pathways, we receive information, but it's not quite information in the knowing sense. It's more like we're receiving energy or reprogramming or just a new format, new system. So it's very similar to meditation. But in meditation, we are consciously grounding inward or downward to become more at ease with ourselves. I think it's a lot about, connection to ourselves. Whereas with transmission, we are receiving this energy from somewhere else. And it's not necessarily that we're grounding downward. It's more that we're opening and expanding multi-dimensionally. Which brings us to another interesting thing, right? Because what is multi-dimensionality, really? It's so philosophical once you get into energy world. So we, oftentimes we're working within dimensions. And so if we think about it in visual art tools, two-dimensional work is drawing, taking your pencil and drawing on a flat surface. We move into a three-dimensional space when we start to create sculpture. Now, when we work into the fourth dimensional space, I don't know, maybe this is like AI world, right? Where this becomes, we sort of have built it and we can move through it. Or maybe a fourth dimensional space could be like an installation. And here's why. Because, and again, it's a subtle thing and it's an opinion. I don't know this to be fact. This is just how I've explored it. But to me, fourth dimensionality is looking outside of the existence that we know and feeling into that that we do not know. So it's partly in bringing in the unconscious, but it's also in the understanding and connection to the dimensions outside of what we can reach out and feel. And so when you work in an art perspective, an installation or an AI generated room, you can see it, it's in front of you. At some time you can feel it, but then it takes you through an experience that works outside of your physical body and begins to incorporate a space beyond. So the fourth dimension is something that has come and gone in philosophy and in the art world, in deep critical thinking. Yeah, I mean, it's something that's been around for a very long time. 1800s, people were talking about the fourth dimension. There's an entire book written about the fourth dimension. And, you know, I'm still learning to process it, but this is sort of where I believe our wellness or our spirituality community has really lived for a very long time. And now we're beginning to move beyond that. And so what does that look like? Well, I don't know that, you know, I think we're figuring it out. And I think that's the energy that I'm really speaking to, is sort of beyond the fourth dimension. And I do feel that there's more than, you know, it's beyond 5, it's beyond 6. And so if we were to really expand our brains to a capacity to understand these dimensions beyond us, it would also have to incorporate things that our brains have a really hard time wrapping around. And part of this has to do with, well, what is time travel? What is past lives? What are future selves? Can we use these in our current lived experience? What are the beings that are there? Can we see them? Can we not see them? Can we get information? Do we not get information? How do we play in this space? And so that is really where I'm at right now, is trying to sort out not just what it is, because I don't really care what it is, but how this information in these multi-dimensional realms can help heal our world and ourself living in this current earth plane. And so in order to fully believe in it and to fully understand it and to practice in it and to receive the information and the energetic capacity that I know I need and want for healing, I do look outside of what we know to be true in our reality. And so I have always looked outside as far as the energy goes. You know, I look to our higher self, and I look to our guides, and I look to past lives, and I look to all these things that people, you know, are very comfortable with now. But I also look beyond that, and I look to the beings that lie beyond that. What about into the future? What about, you know, galactic, right? What is galactic? Well, it's, some people say extraterrestrial or the universal. And I think as humans, we always are tending to put names to things so that we can understand them. But in this way, I feel like we just have to trust in that these things exist. And to be honest, I'm at a place where I really don't care if others believe in the same thing, but I do need to communicate to those who are also questioning, because I think that there's a lot of us out there that are questioning what lies beyond. And I think that a push right now that we're facing is our medical crisis. You know, in America, the healthcare system, it's just not working for us anymore. And it doesn't mean that our doctors and our nurses and our scientists are not working for us. I think that there is definitely, you know, there's still a lot of support and truth there. But I also feel that we need to fully take responsibility for our healing. And work with those doctors, work with those nurses, work with those scientists, but also believe and trust within ourselves to know, like, maybe I should also add this, or maybe I also need to do this, or maybe what this doctor is saying to me doesn't quite fit in my body. I hear what they are saying, but maybe there's more information there. And it's that questioning that I'm looking for. It's not to go against all science and all medical professionals at all. I just feel that at this point in our world, we need to look deeper. We need to look a little bit beyond this flat surface. So that's my exploration. That's where I'm at right now. And it's changing the way that I think, and it's changing my energy, and it's changing the way that I communicate with people, and it's changing the kind of people that are communicating with me. And you know, that's okay, because if I stay in this framework, this box that I created, I think it has its limits at this point. I just don't know that it's sustainable for the type of work that I'm doing or the people that I'm connecting to. So that is my Monday check-in, and that is where I'm at. And I'm gonna try to get a little bit deeper information for all of you moving forward. But I do feel that today, really the message is this, to start taking a check-in for yourself about what you do believe, and about how you're taking responsibility for your belief system, for your health, for your body, and where you're giving your power away and where you're empowering yourself. And I think the idea of working with meditation in the beginning is always great, but also opening up to transmission where these energies are dropping down, sometimes for healing. And so it is an energy frequency, slightly different than meditation. And I wish I had a better definition for you, but I don't. So that's it for now.